What's up, ladies? I am about to do my trade recap for the day. About to rip this one, show you guys exactly why I pulled out early before I finished. Before I pulled out before it finished. And it kept going up, so I kind of saved myself some money right here. So basically, we got market opens kind of squiggling within this intraday range of the Asian highs and New York PM session highs from Friday. So this is Friday close, and then this is Asian open. We did, however, cross it right here. So if you want to say that this was the range that we were staying in, it would be maybe heel to heel, or you could just say this extension right here. So I was kind of banking on the fact that we were going to come down to sweep out with some lows, get down and dirty with it on some lows type shit. Thought that we were going to get down and dirty with some lows type shit. And that just didn't end up happening, as you can see. But I did, however, get pretty lucky today. I was able to pull my shit out before it netted. Before I finished, I was able to pull it out. So it was pretty solid. I was able to hit my TP1, which was this low. I did send it a little early, but I'm glad I did, because I had to close my position right here. Because we crossed the 0.79 of this range. Another mother guys, they've been talking about the way I do it, I do. Right here. So yeah, I had my original stop up here, and then as you can see, price came down to this point, and then we went back up. So I counted it as invalid the second that we crossed this line. Once we crossed that line, I was like, alright, we're done though. Get me out of here ASAP, no Rocky. So what did I do? Pulled out, fully break even. So I pulled one contract out here, sold 3 contracts right here, and yeah, fully break even, $42 and $42 on each one. Actually, the winning trade was $42.50. So we're up 50 cents on the day. You know what I'm saying? About to go buy a Eurus right now. Up 52 cents on the day. About to go buy a Eurus. Purple Barney spec Eurus. But yeah, I mean, the reason that I pulled out is because there wasn't really any trend. The price wasn't trending too hard. It doesn't seem like it really wants to go lower. Anytime that we come down, it was like a very, very choppy move down, but then every time we come up, it was with force, as you can see right here. So look, it took 3 candles to get down here, and then in one minute candle was all engulfed. And now we're creating higher highs and higher lows. I was, however, looking for some longs out of this, but I just don't see very favorable price action I would want for my strategy personally. I don't see anything that I would want to take after this, especially as a second trade. As a second trade for the day, I'm always looking for all the reasons to not do anything, if that makes sense. So yeah, no, I see this shit and I'm like, yeah, fuck all that. I don't want nothing to do with that. It's just choppy. It's a no news Monday. It's already 10:30. You know what I mean? It's really kind of hard to tell where price wants to go when you have all-time highs up here and then prominent lows right here, and we're already down here. So lows that were swept through pre-market, and lows that were swept just early on in the day The only prominent low we have right here is like the New York session from the other week, and then New York. Uh, yeah, these are just New York session lows right here from Friday. But yeah, for the rest of the week, there is FOMC on Wednesday, and then there is also some other shit. What is it? FOMC, and then unemployment. So, you know, some big stuff. Big stuff should be a solid week. I'm hoping tomorrow would be a better day price action wise. I mean, this is just some swag. This is just some boof sauce right here. So yeah, that's about it. Type shit. I mean, we were looking like we could still continue downwards, but I would have gone stopped out. Full stops up there. Full stops is right here, and then I pulled out right there. But yeah, now we're getting a pretty strong sell-off. If you look over here on S&P, it looks a lot cleaner than this. See, if I was in S&P, I'd still be in this right now because my stops would have been up here. And oh, S&P just looks a lot cleaner today. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna keep it frank. So yeah, that's about it for today. I'm gonna go. Oh, I forgot to tell you. So the reason that I took this trade out, right? 0.79 gets crossed, right? And we're seeing a sort of a downtrend right here. As soon as we crossed this high, I started seeing a downtrend. That's the reason that I entered, is because I saw the downtrend that we were in. But the one thing that I didn't really like was this close. I didn't really like this. This is a very bullish signal, but it is also a very low time frame candle. When we look on the high time frame, which for like a morning day trade is, 10 minutes or high time frames, you can see that we're starting to create a little bit of a downtrend. As soon as we hit this low, price rejected, coming up any higher. And so I was assuming, maybe we want to keep going for lows. But the reason that I closed is because the trend is your friend. The trend isn't your friend when it's over and reversing. That's something that I learned from ICT, that you kind of got to keep in mind all the time, because like, if you could save yourself a lot of money when you start to look for when the trend's really done. You don't got to keep going. You don't got to keep going. Once the trend's over, it's over. And that's what I saw right here. I said, okay, trend's donezo. I don't want to lose this full amount. I'd rather be able to either break even or have a small loss, So yeah, I'm happy with that. I am proud of give myself a pat on the back for that one. But yeah, I'm not really happy with this trade per se. Because now that I look at it, it does make sense that, we came down to this low and rejected real fast, and then we came down again and rejected. So yeah, no, it doesn't seem like it's really what it wants to do. I think I was watching TJR's trade recap the other day. It was one of the days that I didn't take a trade. I didn't take a trade all of last week. But it was one of the days that I didn't take a trade, and I personally thought that price action was ass. And then I see his trade recap, and he's saying that it looks prime for longs, like it's the best long setup he's seen in a while, and all this stuff. And that's the shit that really shows me that I have a lot left to learn. Because if someone can see something that you don't, it really makes you feel like stupid, right? So you're not stupid, but you just are uneducated still. So what I failed to see, he took a trade on S&P when I took a trade on, I was only looking at NASDAQ. He was looking at S&P, saying he wants S&P to seek lows and NQ to sort of consolidate. And what happened? Exactly that. NQ stayed within a range. S&P seeked out lows, and then that's what I could have done right here. When I said I would have still been in this trade, I would have still been in this fucking trade, winning right now. Because look, this is where I entered right here on S&P. This line, you see this line on the other chart, it is right there, exactly where I entered. Stops would have been right here. And look how much cleaner price action and how much more trendy it is. S&P really wants these lows. Nasdaq is damn near already swept out down to here, so it's gonna lag behind for a bit. But yeah, I think S&P is about to hit that. So that's one thing I need to take into consideration is divergences and knowing which index to sort of favor. I usually only really look at Nasdaq because it's my favorite, just because it just moves way quicker. S&P sort of I find to be a little slower sometimes, but the thing is, it's only slower when it's slower, because there's other times where that shit'll sink or rise real fast, you know. But yeah, if shit was going on right here, for example, right now I would be dancing around my break even. Here I'm way in profit. You know what I'm saying? So that's the kind of thing you gotta learn is, you know, figuring out, or I gotta learn, I'm talking to myself right now when I say you, is figuring out which one's better to take a trade on. I don't need to just only take trades on Nasdaq because the volatility is higher. That shouldn't be the case ever. You should take a trade on the one that you think is clean, not the one that you think will make you more money. Because sometimes the thing is, you know, it sucks when you enter on one side and then the other side goes and the other side stays. So that's one of the things I gotta learn. Daily profiles too. But yeah, no news Monday. I'm happy with break even. Pat myself on the back for leaving the trade early, and then we'll see how this one goes right here. I'm gonna mark out my trade on this one. Something like that. And I had a stop loss above this fair value gap with a TP at, well, my TP on the other one was at this low, at this yellow line right here, which is New York lows from the other week. So I'm gonna leave it there just so you can see. Wait, why is it all the way up here? Alright, we're about to see how this one goes. I'll come back. I'm gonna go make breakfast and then I'll come back and look at this.